This video presents the results of the EU-funded project MBAT. We will show the integration of a model-based testing tool, MBTSuite, from sepp.med into a common tool platform, the IBM Jazz environment, via the Open Interface Standard, OSLC, which stands for Open Services for Lifecycle Collaboration. Our starting point is the specification in the form of textual requirements. For the management of requirements, we use DOORS Next Generation, which is a web-based requirements management solution. From the main site, we open our project and then we have a look at the list of requirement modules inside it. The specification comprises text, headlines for structuring, and the actual requirements. Selecting a requirement allows us to have a look at its properties, such as the planned means of compliance or the allocation to a specific subsystem. The main demonstration consists of 4 scenarios: the creation of a test model using Rhapsody, the generation of test cases from that model using our model-based testing tool, the export of these test cases into our test management solution, and finally, the exploitation of the links between the engineering artifacts to support traceability. We'll start with the creation of the test model. In this scenario, we want to create a test model and then link some of the elements in that model to the textual requirements. This requires an interaction between DOORS and Rhapsody. We open the existing test model from the Design Manager, which is a server for storing Rhapsody models. The actual test model is a hierarchy of activity diagrams. We can jump into the lower levels of this hierarchy by clicking the symbol. The leaves of this tree are test steps and test actions, and as you can see, some of them already have links to a requirement. Now we want to create a new link between a test step and a requirement. For this, we select a test step and choose Link to Remote Requirements. We can choose the appropriate link type and select the requirement management project to which we want to connect. Clicking on Browse opens a view provided by DOORS via OSLC. We select the right module and can then browse to the list of requirements or use the search feature for finding a specific requirement. In our case, the requirement 521. Clicking on OK then establishes a link between our selected test step and the selected requirement. We can go to the test step in the model browser, where the new relation is visible. If we want to visualize this relationship on the diagram as well, we can drag the requirement onto the diagram and tell Rhapsody to show the existing relations. Then we save the model to the server. The second scenario shows the test case generation from the model. To allow this, we have an interaction between our test case generation tool and our test modeling tool. MBTSuite loads the list of available test models in Rhapsody and allows the user to select one. Then, the contents of the model can be transferred. We start by opening the import dialog, where we can select the appropriate importer from a list and then obtain a list of all of the test model diagrams in Rhapsody. After giving it a local name, the model is imported and transformed into an internal representation in MBTSuite. Using the visualizer, we can have a look at this internal model. You can see that the link we defined in scenario 1 between the requirement 521 and the test step Startup Nav Mode has been preserved. Next, we want to generate test cases from this test model. MBTSuite offers a number of different test case generation strategies and allows a variety of parameters to be set. For the demo, we'll try full path coverage. This results in 13 generated test cases, and we can look at them using this tree-like representation. In scenario 3, we want to export the generated test cases from MBTSuite to our test management solution, RQM. The detailed description shows that we can apply filters on the generated set of test cases. For this, MBTSuite offers a number of predefined filters. In our example, we set a filter that only leaves test cases that cover requirement 5.2.1. We can then export to RQM this new filtered set of test cases or the original collection. From the list of available exporters, we choose the OSLC exporter and connect to the Jazz platform using our username and password. Then we can see the list of available test management projects and select the one to which we want to export the test cases. The test cases are then transferred via OSLC to the RQM database. We'll now jump over to RQM and see the results of this. In RQM, we can select our test management project and then proceed to have a look at all the test cases in the project. As you can see, all our 13 test cases are there, and the link to the requirements has been preserved. We can hover over a requirement link and get a preview of this requirement from DOORS via OSLC. When we jump into a test case, we can have a look in more detail of the linked requirements. Each test case also has a test script attached to it, and in the test script we can see all the test model elements that are part of this specific path through our test model. In the final scenario, we now want to support traceability between engineering artifacts and tools by exploiting the links we have between the data. To summarize, we started by explicitly linking a requirement to a test model element. The test model element is part of a test model which has been used in a specific test generation configuration to generate test cases that were sent to RQM. And now we have a new link between the generated test case and the requirement that we have linked in the first place. Next, we want to go to the Engineering Lifecycle Management Solution realm and show how all of these links can be visualized. Note that the realm tool is not a database where all the data has been sent to. Instead, it accesses and indexes the native databases of the connected tools and searches for links between the artifacts in them. The first view is quite simple. It is a list of all the requirement artifacts in our requirement management solution. And if we hover over one requirement, once again, you can see we get the preview provided by DOORS. The second view shows elements from two tools, Rhapsody and DOORS. We can see all the test model diagrams on the left, the test model elements in the middle, and the requirements on the right. If we click on any element, the tool highlights the relations of the selected elements to the others on the diagram. As you can see, our requirement 512 is connected to the Startup Nav Mode test step, which is in turn related to the diagram in which it is contained. If we want, we could have a live preview of that diagram in the Realm tool via OSLC as well. The last view shows us the relations between requirements, test cases, and test scripts. Clicking on the requirement 521 shows us that it is tested in 2 test cases. And, as before, we can get a preview of the requirement information from DOORS via OSLC. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.